Dr. Michael Hässig from the University of Zurich, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. Professor Hässig is a diplomate in both the European College of Bovine Health Management and the European College of Veterinary Public Health. He's also head of section for the field service and herd health section in the Faculty of Veterinary Sciences, and he will speak to us about spatial differences in prevalences of various diseases in the context of a veterinary practice. Welcome.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much that I'm able to speak in front of you. I'm speaking for Dorothea Debka on behalf of her, because it's her own work, her thesis work, and Gianluca Bo is our geographical specialist who helped us in our study. I will continue with the story about John Snow with his maps. As you see, I will also show you what is possible on a practice level nowadays with this help of geographical information systems. The task we had was that in literature there are many description and spatial differences within a country or in a larger region. No analysis was performed to our knowledge on the scale of a single practice. So we asked, can spatial risk factors be addressed on practice level? We used a geographical information system. It was a retrospective study. We used the prevalence of diseases in 2013. The practice area was the one of the University of Zurich, the ambulance and field clinic of the animal hospital. We had 124 farms, head size between 50 and 120 cows. Disease frequency was calculated according to the results obtained by our practice program. We had a total of over 6 million records and 125 different values. All addresses of the farms were geoprocessed, and prevalence calculation was in the midst of the study time on 2013 according to the National Database for Cows. Analysis of distance to the risk factor was performed by analysis of variance or regression analysis, either linear or with a transformation by best fit. Diseases we looked for were metabolic diseases, fertility problems, mastitis, parasitosis, lameness, and other diseases, as you can see on this list. Now you see Zurich in front, the older city, then the Lake of Zurich, and behind the Swiss Alps. If we look now to the opposite direction, you also see the Lake of Zurich, and this is the region of our practice with the university in the midst. Now you see a map of the 125 farms where they are situated after geoprocessing. They were exactly coordinates by a difference of plus minus 1 meter. Here you see now a densitogram of the farms by location. We needed this map especially to find out if we have a bias due to the density of the farms correlated to the diseases we were looking for, but we didn't find any bias in this way. So, with the geographical information system, you have different layers. Here you see one layer that's the map or the layer for the forest in this region. And the square is the distance of a farm as large as a square as far away from the next forest is the farm situated. We have several layers, one for major road, also the same as larger the square is, as far away the farm is from the next major road. The same for water. Here we have on this map all open water with a diameter more than 1 meter. Now, what are the results? The distance to open water was significant for foreign bodies. The distance to major road was significant for claw disorders and for infertility, either linear or the log of the distance to this next road. Then, for distance for forest, we found a significant correlation with foreign bodies, again, also linear and log distance, for claw disorders, for infertility. Also, both linear and log was significant. Also, endoparasitosis was significant for the distance to the next forest. Cryptosporidiosis was also significant, and you see we found several possible risk factors in this geographical data. A lot of other correlations were found in, but only there was a tendency and not a significant correlation. Exposition to sun and altitude only showed tendency, but not a significant correlation. So now, if we look to the maps, we see the prevalence for foreign bodies was significant for distance to major road and to water. The claw disorders was significant for distance to major road and distance to forest. Reproduction disorders, mainly infertility, was significant for the distance to major road and distance to forest. And endoparasitosis was significant for distance to forest. And the specialty cryptosporidiosis was significant for the distance to forest. So, I already came to the conclusion. There are spatial differences on practice level for diseases. Risk areas within a practice can be addressed. The influence of the risk factors forest, road, and open water has to be addressed in the future. Of course, we have some hypotheses what could be the possibility, for example, for foreign bodies and water. The farms are mostly close to a major city, and a lot of people are in summertime making picnic around this open water and littering around this pasture, and that might be a risk factor for the cows to get the foreign body. But that's only a hypothesis, and it's not proven yet. And cryptosporidiosis could be forest that the cryptosporidiosis, the parasite, will survive in wintertime better in a forest than on the open field due to the climate change. It's very dry outside, or it could be very dry outside, and the soil can be frozen deeper than in the forest. But this all is on the basis of a hypothesis and not proven yet. Spatial selective therapy can be established within a practice, and geographical information system can improve and can be implemented in good veterinary practice. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Hässig. Are there any questions? There's a question here at the front.
Congratulations, nice talk. Luigi Bertolotti from Torino, Italy. A curiosity, did you find any association between your variables? So are you sure that are completely independent? So did you test the interaction between, I don't know, forest and large road? Because I think could be related.
We tried this one interaction terms, but we didn't find any interaction.
Any other questions? One comment, if I may.
Yes.
I mean, how do you see the? I mean, this study is done in the context of a veterinary practice, so it is it's unusual for veterinary practices to apply geographic information system. Do you think that this would be? Could this be a future tool that they should? Would you advocate that this be used in the future for veterinary practices?
I guess so, yes. That because maybe we have to explain in Switzerland, we have even in a small practice, private practice, not the university practice, but even in the private practice, you could have completely different regions. That is, for example, that's on the lowest farm is on 400 meters above sea level, and the highest farm is on 2,000 meter above sea level. So you have completely different geographical regions. And if the practitioner will be aware that he has different regions, maybe he will find different solution for each region for his farmer.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? We want to thank Professor Hässig again.